Hey, how's everybody doing today? Michael Ligori with Cathedral Stone Products. We're in Hanover, Maryland at the headquarters. Today we're going to be doing a demo video on screeding. You'll see the word screed in our data sheets in referring to removing the excess material on your patch. So the idea is when you install a Jahn patch, in this case M70 limestone, you want to overshoot the profile of the patch repair and the profile of the stone, and you want to let that patch sit for a period of an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. The waiting time depends on temperature. So in the condition that we're in today, 70 degrees in an indoor environment, we're ready to screed and scrape this excess material off in approximately an hour and a half. This patch has been installed about an hour and a half ago, so you will notice it's ready to be screeded. What you want to look for is when doing a scrape, when the material falls and doesn't stick to your metal tool anymore, that's usually a good indicator for your patch is ready for finish. It is important to do it in this way where you screed the repairs instead of floating them even to the profile right away. The main issue with floating your repairs is the color gets lighter and you end up with a texture that's undesirable. The only way to get a texture in these Jahn repairs that matches the existing conditions is by removing the excess with your miter rod. We make these in all different sizes. This is the 14-inch miter rod, and now I'm going to give it a shot. You will notice when I'm screeding and finishing this patch that I'm moving back and to the side. That is what reveals a nice, even, consistent texture. One of the things you want to avoid is going back and forth in a saw-like motion. That, when you end up doing it in that way, you'll develop lines in your repair, and if you're at profile already, you will not be able to get those lines out. For best finishes, you want to take off a little bit at a time. You can go all the way and take a big amount off at once, but you're more than likely going to take a chunk of material out. So the best method is to take off a little bit at a time, and before you know it, you'll be at your profile. When you encounter a radius within your repair, what you want to keep in mind is working from the edge into the middle, starting at the top, working to the middle, then starting at the bottom and working back into the middle. Again, working away from your edges. So when you're working on a radius, you want to start at the edge and work into the middle. You cannot go all the way up the top because you'll end up taking that whole front edge off with it. So again, start at the top, work down to the middle, pick the tool up, clean it, come back under and catch it right about at that midpoint. It is also very important to, once again, overbuild the patch completely. As you're repairing and as you're patching, you should periodically check with your miter rod that you don't have any low spots. If you end up with a low spot, what you'll notice at the end of your repair is one area will be smooth from your trowel application because it didn't make contact with the miter rod during finishing. This would be the finished product on a screeded patch. If your desired texture is slightly smoother than this, all you can do is grab a flat trowel here and just rub it on the surface of the patch, essentially closing up some of the pores of the patching mortar. So on a rounded profile here, because this tool doesn't lay flat in there, you can grab something round like this, a piece of wooden handle or maybe a piece of PVC, just to come in here and close up the pores slightly. The most important thing to keep in mind when I'm doing this surface treatment is every tool that you use has to be dry, nothing wet. So the first patch on the top was neutral mortar, so there was no color other than just a white patch. This is one of our limestone premium colors, so finishing technique is even more crucial when you're working with a darker or a premium standard color. So let's take a look at what the color reveals once I screed and scrape off the excess here. Okay, so you can see when I screeded half of this repair, you end up with two different colors. This would be the color if you patched the material and didn't finish it with a screed and just left it at a trowel finish. This would be your finish with a miter rod. So you can see with two different finishing techniques, you end up with two different colors, which is very important when trying to get a color match to finish the patch the same way you did your initial mock-up to end up with the consistent color and texture throughout the whole project. For more information and videos like this, please visit Jahn.news. And if you have any questions about a particular project, reach out to me in the email below. Thank you for watching.